With the NBA, here's a question. Has Kobe Bryant hurt the Lakers' chances of getting any big-time free agents? Well, according to one article by Henry Abbott in a recent feature for ESPN magazine, it says that is the case. It appears Kobe may have cost the Lakers Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and several others. One agent who had a Lakers client in recent years said this, quote, Kobe is like the big rock in their front yard. You can't mow over it, so you just have to mow around it. Another anonymous agent was quoted as saying, I've had a lot of clients in the last 5 years, good players who didn't want to play with Kobe. They say that his teammates become the chronic public whipping boys. Anyone who could possibly challenge Kobe for the spotlight ends up becoming a pincushion for the media, even Shaq. Again, it's an article that will be in ESPN.com or ESPN the magazine. Stephen A. Smith, your thoughts?
Contrary to popular belief, I'm willing to concede that there may be some truth to that. Nelly, rapper, rap artist, and a friend of this show, has said that on many occasions. A guy's not wanting to come play with Kobe. Dwight Howard, everybody talk about sources, said, hell with all of that. I spoke to Dwight Howard many times. Dwight Howard, that's part of the reason he didn't want to return to L.A. That's just the bottom line.
Yep.
We all know about the Shaq-Kobe feud in the past, and there's legitimacy to the notion that some people may not want to come and play with Kobe Bryant. I don't have a problem with that statement. But as somebody that has known Kobe for more than a decade, that obviously speaks to him a lot, I always resent how the stories just stop there and nobody gets into why people may not want to come play with Kobe. We live in a world, when we talk about professional sports, particularly the NBA, where guys are making major dough, and their contracts are guaranteed. Kobe Bryant thinks about his money when it's time to get his money. But once the deal is signed on the dotted line, Kobe ain't about nothing else but trying to win. And he usually believes that he's the best because he puts in the work. Skip, knowing me for 18 years, you know there are very few people that I am tighter with than my man Shaquille O'Neal. That's going to be my friend for life. It's my brother, okay? Love him dearly. And I happen to know that there were things on both sides. Kobe was wrong about some things, and we all know that, and Kobe can't deny it. But there were things that Shaq was wrong about, too. Like, for example, there would be times when the coach would talk about being in peak condition, get ready to go, get yourself ready, etc., etc. Kobe out there waking up 5:30 in the morning, working out, getting his body right, getting ready for a season. He walk in the trainer's room, and Shaq got 2 Big Macs. And it drive you crazy. You Dwight Howard, you want Tinseltown, you want the bright lights of the big city, L.A., and all of that stuff. You're absolutely right. But Kobe's looking at you, and he's like, it's about rings up in here. We're sitting here, and I'm not knocking Dwight Howard for this because he was doing what was best for his future, and I respect it. But when he was a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, and then he approached free agency, and Steve Nash and them found out sitting across the table from him why he had some issues or whatever the case may be, and Kobe came up in there reportedly with some shorts and a T-shirt on, etc., etc. Kobe's like, yo, we're champions. It's the Lakers. You haven't won yet. So we're sitting across the table having to recruit you as if you have accomplished what we've accomplished. We got a problem with that.
But remember, everybody else dressed up.
I know
that was the directive.
That was the directive. Well, listen, I know of a meeting where Kobe Bryant showed up. I forgot whether it was Nike or somebody else. He showed up for a negotiation in a sweatsuit with a basketball. And after they finished talking, he said, can I use your gym? I think it was important in Nike. And he had a basketball in his warm-up suit, and he shot turnaround jumpers from the baseline for 3 hours. This is who he is. So when you have that level of commitment to excellence, and you sense that other people don't have that, you're going to have an issue. And you're going to rub people the wrong way because what you need and what you want is a level of commitment and investment from them that you're giving. And if you are the star and you have established yourself as one of the greatest of all times, and you've got multiple rings to bring to the table along with everything else, and there are other people who haven't accomplished anything other than being recognized as really good players who deserve max dollars, it's pretty hard to get this guy to sit up there and lay at the altar for you like, you're what we need. So again, Kobe, I get the point of the article. It ain't perfect. He doesn't have the magnetic personality my man Michael Jordan had, et cetera, et cetera. But in the end, tell why. Tell that, listen, this is what this brother brings. This is who he is. This is the work ethic and commitment that he brings to the table. And that's why he might be that way, because he suspects that you're wooing others who are not as committed.
There are many references that I read in the story to how hard Kobe works. Fanatically hard. Harder than anybody else.
But I'm just talking about in terms of tell how the issue may be the people you're recruiting don't have his same zest for success.
So Carmelo was there for his big visit. Remember back?
Well, Carmelo, that's a different ball. That was about the money.
But
they didn't have enough money.
But remember, Kobe flew back from Europe just to meet up with Carmelo and give him a hug.
For Carmelo. He's got love for Carmelo.
And for whatever reason, wires got crossed, and he missed the meeting with Carmelo. Don't know why, but this is Kobe Bryant we're talking about. And in no way do I want our discussion to diminish the greatness of this man as a basketball player. He is the closest we have seen to the great Michael Jordan since Jordan. And I will always stand by that. The problem with Kobe is, and my takeaway from this article, is that his greatness in his latter stages of his career has become his greatest weakness. It has, because he is so great, he is so driven, he has such a high degree of killer instinct that he wants to still be Kobe even as his body begins to betray him at age 36 in his, what are we going into, 19th year. And we know about the Achilles rupture and we know about the knee injury. The body is starting to go. So Kobe, in his latter stages, his management is hoping he will give in a little bit to, I need to help recruit somebody else here, and he will not give an inch to anybody else for the reasons you so eloquently stated. He ain't going to no Dwight Howard recruitment session dressed to the nines. He's not going to do it for Dwight because he knows who Dwight is and who he is not and who he wasn't as a Laker. So Kobe's just going to show up in his sweats, man. Who cares? And I'm okay with that. But you're doing in the long run, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face just a little bit here. So why did the Lakers give in and give him his money? Well, it points out at the end, I don't know if you got this deep, it's a long article, but it is worth the read. But they're kind of the last mom and pop operation. They're a family run business and they need their money from their tickets and their TV revenue. And he is a local TV draw of the nth magnitude. Kobe Bryant, no one can compare to Kobe as a local TV draw. And he will be a great draw again this year. Am I right about that?
No question.
I mean, everybody, I'd tune. I mean, I'm going to watch him as much as I can. It's kind of hard in our time zone occasionally. But the problem is that they just said, we have this, what is it, a $3 billion 20-year deal with the Time Warner.
Warner.
Okay. Well, they need Kobe. Maybe not to win games, but to win TV viewers. So that's what you got, and that's what you're stuck with. And so you have a team this year that almost certainly will not make the Western Conference playoffs. But Kobe got his money,
and Kobe's got 5 rings. And Kobe plays like he's starving, but he works out like he's starving.
Does.
You talk to people who work out with him, and they'll tell you that. So my point to you is that, you know, the Shaquille O'Neals of the world, Kobe looks, and he's rekindled his relationship to some degree with Shaquille O'Neal. But why? It was out of respect and appreciation for what he might have missed until he was working with other folks. And so when you see the dominance of a Shaquille O'Neal, the greatness of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, of a Magic Johnson, of a Kobe Bryant, and you know nobody was kissing their butt, why is it that they got to turn around and do that with somebody who's less accomplished than them? Did anybody ever sit there and say, it's the obligation of the Lakers organization to figure out a way to do this without needing Kobe Bryant? That's my point.
All right, so here's the question. Here's the bottom line to this when we're talking about winning and losing. There's an anonymous quote from a source close to Lakers decision makers late in the article that says, Kobe wants to win, but only as long as he's the reason we are winning.
Nice.
Meaning the ball's going to be in his hand and he's going to take the most shots almost every night. Are you okay with that at this stage of his career?
I'm not okay with that because I haven't seen him in the last year and a half. If Kobe can still do what he does, that would be different. But I will tell you this. When I've had conversations with Kobe, one of the things that really rakes his nerves, it offends him, is that people forget all the things he does. He's like, I played point guard. Like, I remember one time he and I got into an argument because we were talking about Michael Jordan. He said, man, look, I love that brother.
Yeah.
I respect him. He's one of the greatest ever. No doubt about it.
One of?
He was like this.
One of.
He said, one of, if not the greatest ever. Okay. He said, but I'll give it to him. He knows. This is what he said. That's how he thinks. And so he's saying, has he been asked to play point guard and off guard or to run a team or to play small? He said, I play multiple positions and I do whatever it takes. And everybody want to act like I just shoot the ball. I D up, I pass, I rebound, I do whatever it takes.
They also quote
That's what he says.
They quote Nash in this article, and Nash essentially says it'd be nice to find some middle ground.
I love Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Love Steve Nash. Steve Nash, the Phoenix Sun, can make a statement like that.
But
Steve Nash, the Laker, hasn't been in uniform healthy enough to be making statements like that. I'm sorry.
All right, we got to finish this discussion at another time because we are running out of time. Coming up next, we are talking about the